It's seen as a betrayal by France. The diplomatic fury displayed by the government of President Emmanuel Macron has now turned into action. The French ambassadors to both the United States and Australia are on their way back to Paris. Temporarily for now, as the political fallout gathers pace. It comes 2 days after Australia announced the scrapping of a $66 billion deal to purchase French conventional submarines in favour of US nuclear-powered vessels. The Biden administration's move to share nuclear submarine technology with Australia was called a stab in the back by the French foreign minister. France also believed they'd been kept in the dark.
We never were informed about any substantial changes. There were many opportunities, there were many channels. Never was such an opportunity mentioned. Never was it mentioned that eventually Australia would be interested by a different kind of propulsion. And you know, France is quite well known and reputed for having a strong nuclear propulsion industry.
The French anger, conveyed in a communique by the Foreign Ministry and in a tweet from the French Embassy in the United States, spoke of unacceptable behaviour for allies and partners. It didn't mention recalling its ambassador to Britain.
I want to stress that France remains an incredibly important partner in the Pacific.
The Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said he had discussed the issue many times with President Macron. It doesn't appear to have been mentioned to the European Union.
I guess a deal of this nature wasn't cooked up the other day. It takes a while. Despite that, no, we were not consulted. We were stakeholders, and this forces us once again, and it is a good opportunity to remind ourselves to reflect on the need to make this issue of European strategic autonomy a priority. This shows that we must survive on our own.
A stance also taken many times in the past by Macron, seen here in Australia 3 years ago, that the United States is no longer an entirely reliable security partner. He has an election to fight in April, so a firm response is understandable, given that France has overseas territories and over 2 million citizens in the Pacific region. Diplomacy will prevail eventually between the long-term allies, but for now, relations between Paris, Canberra and Washington are navigating stormy waters. Francis Collins, TRT World.